Oh, shit.
Siege
Hang on.
worldwide.
I will figure this out.
What? This is always happening. Go away.
Okay. There we go.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Hi.
Hey,
I will
Ruthie.
figure out how to change the thing here in a second.
I forgot how to do
Hey,
that.
girl. Hey.
Yeah, I completely forgot how to do this. I haven't hosted
I
live
think
in months.
Allie remembers.
Hello. Oh
Allie,
yeah.
how do I fix this?
Um. So you click on multi-guest. Like on the bottom, you should see something that says multi-guest,
Okay.
and then on there it'll be like, frick, what is it? It says like,
Got it. Grid.
yeah. Okay, yes. My vague directions
Yay.
work.
Yay! Okay.
Yay.
Yay.
It's the cat. Okay.
Okay. Nicole, I'm trying to get to you.
Nicole.
Okay.
I don't know why I love the sound of tippy tapping on, like, when I hear the sound of people
Oh,
typing on
yeah.
their phone. It's so satisfying.
You're one of those ASMR people, huh?
Not like
I mean, they
total
have
ASMR,
keyboards.
but the tippy tapping I enjoy.
Have you seen those
Okay.
keyboards that people get from Amazon that are like extra
I
clickety?
have one. The extra clickies. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
Ruthie's
so
like,
it was so wonderful for about 10 minutes and then I chucked the thing. It was too
It was good
We're
for a few minutes
spinners
of
tonight.
dopamine.
I like it in
I'm
theory.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
In
not a big
small
fan of like
doses.
the whispering ASMR. Like,
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh yeah.
My
Mm-hmm.
husband loves that. He goes to sleep to that. Drives me insane.
I
I
I
do
like
don't
too.
when
mind
my dog's
whispering
eating.
because
Hi
people
Marissa.
actually whisper. It like I've scrolled past lives where they're putting like silly putty on their fucking microphones and I'm like ugh, like that just sounds it's just like why are you doing this unnatural thing? And so I immediately leave.
I do black.
At least with whispering, that's a real thing.
Yeah. Or like using makeup brushes to brush around it.
Hi, Marissa. Hi, Hype Girls.
Yeah.
Hi.
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 I
Hey.
see a black cat and I want to see the kitty's face.
Oh, Nico. Nico.
You
That's
must
my dead
we
cat.
demand the cat.
Aries. 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 Look.
I'm a hot mess today.
Oh, he looks like my tux. Oh my goodness.
I also have a tuxedo cat. Mine's a girl though.
He's big. He's like 18 pounds now, I
Oh,
think.
God bless.
His head is like, come here. Aries, would you take him? Yeah. Nope, that's not
He said,
working.
"No, I'm not going to."
Like, no, bitch.
Chilling.
Come here,
All
baby.
those have like a great personality.
He's like, do not move me.
Yeah, no, it's appropriate that he's sitting there under the skull for sure.
Yeah,
That's great.
totally.
That's his vibe.
DJ, I wanted to say I saw your live with Troy and Rick Trion. It was
Oh
so
yeah. Yeah.
hilarious. I don't know. Like I think Troy was like kind of needling him a little bit, but you guys were so much fun. I loved watching that. I wanted to tell you.
Yeah, they were really they were a hoot. Like
And Jen,
they were hilarious.
and Jen, you were in the comments just making jokes.
Yes, that's what I do.
Your hair looks amazing today, DJ. I love it.
Yes, it's very nice.
Thanks.
Is it purple or is it
I'm
that like ashy gray? Or is it purple ashy gray?
both. It's
Ooh,
like both.
I love it.
I love the color. I want to color my hair,
Thank
but
you.
The way my curls are set up.
Yeah, I love coloring my hair.
Lara.
Hi, Lara.
Same, Nicole. Same.
I used
Lara,
to
I
color
tried
all
to
the
find
time.
you the other night. We got separated because I had to go to record the spicy chapter that I couldn't do on live, and then I came back and I was like, she's gone now. I couldn't find you.
So am I supposed to talk? Because if I'm supposed to talk, it's gonna be a real quiet night, guys.
Tell us about yourself.
Welcome to Books and Audio, the DJ chapter, the awkward one. Down here is our lovely narrator, and over there in the corner is our author, Nicole.
Hello.
I'm trying my Hollywood squares now.
Right, yeah. So if you guys want to, introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about it, what you do and everything. That's good.
Are we going round again?
Go ahead, Nicole.
Well, they can introduce themselves.
Okay, I'll go first. Hello, I'm Nicole Banks. I love long walks on the beach. I'm a Leo. Sagittarius moon. I love cats. I also have a tuxedo cat and a black cat. They're named Maverick and Goose because
Cool.
Top Gun.
Aw.
And I'm a yogi. I write all sorts of things: thriller, romantic suspense, mafia romance, stuff that'll get me banned from the internet romance. And I'm from New York, if you can't tell from my accent.
You can totally tell. I was just about to ask. I'm from New York too.
I'm always like, I don't have an accent, and then I get around people that are not from New York, and I'm like, oh, I do have an accent. Okay.
You do. I can hear. What part?
I was born and raised in Queens, but I've lived all over.
Cool.
All of the accent and dialect nerds are just like, let me just listen to
Tell
you.
us more.
Can I record you?
Right? Right now, mark Nicole down as TikTok videos to watch repeatedly to prep yourself.
Yes, because it's bad. Like I went to Arizona for a retreat or whatever, and I was with my other friend who's from New York, and I was telling a story. And as I was telling the story, my accent got the more pronounced as I went. I was like, I was cursing. I was like, yo, you don't even understand. Oh, yeah. But it wasn't even that serious. Da, 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 da. And I was like, all right, I am from New York. We gotta...
Yeah, mine comes out when I get mad.
Yeah, I can hear yours for sure.
Sure.
Yes, she's drinking water. I have coffee.
I have my vinegar.
Coffee. Sorry.
Coffee.
I almost made some coffee tonight.
I mean, you can copy mine. Sorry.
All of us trying not to be the parrots that we are, just repeating or don't do it.
Despite what they say about us New Yorkers, we're actually very nice people.
We are. We'll give you the shirt off our back. We'll curse you out, but we'll give you the shirt off our back.
Except for when y'all are driving. Based on me traipsing actually through the streets of New York last month. Everybody was very nice, face to face, but the number of horns that I heard, and I'm like, look, all of y'all are all going nowhere because you guys decided to drive in the middle of New York City. Why are you honking the horn so much? You're surprised.
Mm-hmm. Because we have to go, and other people have to go. So everybody's doing the same speed limit, but it never happens.
No, it doesn't.
So, pedestrians, when you're walking, we all have our own flow. You can tell who the New Yorker is from the tourists because we're all gotta keep moving, step to the right, step to the right, step to the right. It just never translates when you get into the car. I have no idea why.
Yeah, no, I saw pedestrians throwing themselves out into traffic they were, they had bonus lives and shit. And I was like, okay, now that you haven't been hit, I will also proceed into the walkway, but like, I'm gonna let you go first.
Nobody wants their insurance to go up, so they're not gonna hit us.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Oh my
Well,
gosh,
you know, yeah, so where I grew up, the joke was, I'm not white enough for that. And so crossing the streets in cities when I don't have the right of way, that was the joke among the kids, is like, well, either we are white enough for that or we're not. So we decided that none of us were white enough to walk out into the walkway when we didn't have the right of way. Like, so it was like, if our white friends did it, then we'd be like, that's fine. You guys are going to get like insurance monies or whatever, and we're going to get blamed. So y'all go and we'll wait for the little man. So like, it's really hard to fight that instinct.
All right, before we get too far along, she has to introduce herself too.
Yes, because she's not even like, I mean, I don't want to say she's not close to New York, but I feel like culturally speaking, it's quite a difference.
Is it? I don't know. I live in Toronto. We're sort of
Yeah, so we would call people that live upstate New York South Canadian.
And she's real Canadian, so there you go.
So anybody who's not from the 5 boroughs is not from New York.
Is that from New York? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair. I can't. I mean, Toronto is kind of like New York of Canada, but sure, that's fine. It's fine. I'm Angelina Rocca. I'm a narrator. I specialize in romance and thriller. And before I became a narrator, I was a huge romance reader. I still am. But I've been consuming romance for like 2 decades. And now I get to read it out loud for a living. So,
Yay!
Living the dream. Yeah.
Living the dream. Yes, ma'am.
Give me all the spicy stuff. Give me it all. I love it. Love it. And I'm from Toronto. Just in case, you know.
Okay, now I gotta tell y'all how I met Miss Angelina. I was scoping out booths for, sound booths that I was going to use, right? And I had reached out to a company that was in Canada. Now, I really liked what they had on the website. Their customer service was great. They didn't have all the details I wanted on the website. So I reached out to them. I was like, let me just reach out to them because their pricing was good. They're an Indigenous owned company. And I was like, I would feel really good spending with them, but I want to make sure it's a smart choice. So I reached out to them and asked them, like, do you guys have anybody I could talk to? Because I'm not really like seeing reviews, like, help me out. Help me spend money with you. And they did. And Angelina was one of the people that they gave me the contact information for. And I got to, they directed me to her Instagram, and I think I messaged her is how that played out. But she had done a video showing the booth, and I was like, ooh, wow, that looks roomy. So then I reached out to her, asking her like the sizes and stuff. And then I was like, ooh, girl, you should get on TikTok.
You and Allie and Paige are the only reasons why I'm like able to do lives. I was so hesitant. I'm like, no, I don't want to do TikTok.
And we're just like, do it. Like, do it. We just bullied you into it.
Gotta.
I felt so awkward. I just felt so awkward. Like I like went online. Like I didn't want to do TikTok, but you convinced me. Thankfully, because
here we are.
Yep.
And now you're here live. You're narrating live. You're doing all kinds of stuff.
I mean, more than half of my work this year has come from authors I've been connected with on TikTok. More than half. Like it's wild. Like
I'm excited to see if that Lila collab.
I want to. I mean, she's Canadian too, so I feel like
it would be perfect.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I love this space, and I love meeting indie authors, and like Nicole. Like I love Nicole because I recorded her book Behind the Mask in December, and it was this really, oh my gosh, so dark, the darkest book that I've narrated so far, but so amazing. And
what did we say? It's spicy and dicey.
Spicy and dicey. And it was like I would read like a few paragraphs live, and then I'd have to pause myself, and then I'd read another paragraph or two live, and then I'd have to like mute again. And it was just, and I've been harassing her because like I loved posting all of the samples because I mean it's just such a great book. So I feel like I'm glad that she, you know, endured me and tolerated me because
And I'm glad I found you. So thank you guys for bullying her to get on.
Yeah. And so Ruthie, you got a bear cave. You did get one. Sorry, I kind of took over.
No, you're fine. But yeah, I did get one. And, you know, a big part of that was, you know, being able to talk to Angelina since she was actually like recording in it. And I got to like talk to her about her experience. And yeah, so it was just like, okay, yeah. And you should join TikTok. and then she started popping over and she's like, what are you doing over here? And then she's like, oh, maybe I will do something over here. And then she did. And I still love my sound booth. Sound booth is awesome. So money well spent.
Indigenous owned. Like, yeah, it's a great company.
Yeah, and even so I paid, so obviously like they're, well, I don't want to say obviously, they're in Canada, right? And I am not. And even paying shipping, which was like $800, the overall price was still cheaper than the companies I could have ordered from here in the States.
Oh, wow.
So
crazy.
Yeah. It was a good move.
Good. I'm glad we met through it. Like I feel like I just kept messaging you then after that. I was like, okay, here's a friend.
Which was fine because up to that point, I think I knew Allie and Paige. Like in terms of like narrators, I was like, these are the two that I know. Allie was the first one that I knew. That's first one.
Happy anniversary, friend. Because it was like, wasn't it like December, January?
No, I think it was like February.
Well, because I know I had just booked Soulbound at the time, and you and I had both auditioned for Soulbound.
So it was before that. It was because I was looking through samples on ACX, and I saw your sample of Fortune of Emerald and Salt. And then, coincidentally, I run across Monroe on TikTok. And I was like, wait a second. Hold the phone. Hold up. And then I'm like, I just heard somebody reading your book on ACX. And then she tagged Allie. And it's like, oh, that's my narrator, Allie. And I was like, oh, that's neat. And then, not to like drive us way off course, the amount of things Allie and I have in common is absolutely disgusting. My husband was like, are you sure you're not being catfished right now? Like, are you sure this person didn't like research you online and is just now saying all of these things? Like we have some we have finding out we both lived in Maryland. So also being narrators, both living in Maryland. We both have goats. I was like, that's weird.
I feel like that's super
I have goats too.
Yeah, and then there's some like off the wall personal stuff that I'm not going to dump on y'all that we have in common. And I'm just like,
what is happening right now? And like you're studying psychology. I have a psychology degree.
Yes.
And like we've talked extensively like about like leadership and like psychology and like emotional intelligence, like all these like different topics. And so yeah, like half the time, like when we first met, like we weren't even talking about narration. We were just talking about like all these other things. So
yeah, small world.
Awesome.
But we're so bad about derailing. But anyway, that's the story. The anniversary with me.
So, Angelina, did you have to audition for Nicole, or did you guys meet on TikTok and just decided?
So,
like, how did that happen, you guys?
Well, okay, here's another connection with Ruthie and Paige and Allie. Femme Takeover.
Yes.
Femme Takeover. I can't tell you how many books I've gotten now from Femme Takeover.
Yes.
Like, so many, honestly. So Nicole reached out to me to read an excerpt for the Femme Takeover. When was it, Nicole? Was it September?
I think it was September.
July?
It was the second one you guys did.
Yeah, it was September.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember we were trying to like figure out how I could do it without saying certain words that would get me bananas.
It was such a good scene, and I was like, but we
It was
can't say
so
these words.
Yeah, yeah. So I read that, and then I don't know. We just kept chatting, right? I don't know.
Yes, and I like kind of fell in love with her voice, and I got good feedback from the video when I posted it on other places. So I was like, all right, I guess I got to do an audiobook because I'm like, I have not read of audiobooks just because I have like an auditory thing where certain just can't take certain sounds and pitches. But I just love Angelina's voice so goddamn much.
Oh, I love you.
I'm
I'm just
like that silky, smoky voice. I love
yes,
it.
I'm just like, can you speak to me always? Like, just narrate everything in my life. Thank you. Hi, Dakota.
Everyone address me through Angelina. She will relay your messages. This is now her full-time job. Thank you.
With my smoky voice.
Oh my god.
You see?
I mean, but I was reading
Growling
scenes.
what? Growling who? I want the smoke.
But I was reading reading pieces live, and it would be an unaliving scene, and people would say, "Oh, you're just so calming to listen to," and I'm like she's talking about slitting some guy's throat. I'm like, this is relaxing to you? Okay.
All right.
I don't know if I'm doing my job right.
Podcast. So
No, some people like to watch those unaliving mysteries for bedtime stuff, like true crime and stuff like.
Yes, and I feel like she could narrate that. Like she could be the voice behind the pictures.
Right. She didn't know what was up the stairs. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I would totally.
And-
Yes, I would listen.
Yeah, see? Yeah, I would get nightmares, so I would watch your trailers. That's it. I don't like true crime is a problem for me because it is true crime. Like I don't need you to specifically tell me all of the ways that my life could go wrong outside of my own control. Like I don't need that. So give me fantastical unaliving mysteries any day because that's not happening.
I'm the complete opposite. I have to have like true crime all the time.
Do you?
All the time.
Like podcasts or movies?
I listen to the
shows?
podcast. I watch like I usually have like that ID.
Oh
like,
yes, yes.
Yeah.
DJ, I've been on an
Allie.
ID show.
What?
I've
Yeah.
been on an ID show before.
You were on one?
Yeah,
As, like,
well, that
special
too.
guest?
I'll send
Really?
you the episode I was on. Yeah, so when you said ID channel, I was like, oh, wait. So, yeah, that's filmed down in Newport News in Virginia. And I was on an episode of Ice Cold Killers. I was an extra. I was in, like, a club.
Oh, you were an actor.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like interviewed.
Oh,
I was like, what happened?
Do you have a secret life?
I almost got away with it.
No, I was the reenactment. And then I was also on Happily Never After. Final Status Update.
Oh yeah, I watched that one.
Yeah.
I watched that show.
Yeah, Final
Yeah.
Status Update was the one that I was in. I was the friend of the girl that.
I'm gonna go and look for you now. I'm gonna be all creepy.
Yeah. You can find it on Amazon Prime. So, and it was like, yeah.
That's so funny. What a small world. My uncle
I
was
know,
on
right?
one of those shows.
As an actor or as a.
My
Victim.
uncle was on one of those shows. Not as an actor. Anyway, so Nicole, tell me
All
about
right.
your book.
I got into romance narration to kind of get away from the true crime and because
You were a journalist.
I was a journalist.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah.
for a
Why
while
didn't
I
you
was-
say that when you introduced yourself?
It's a past life. I feel like it's just
No. It's interesting. Like how many journalists do y'all know?
None.
Now I know.
Well,
what
One. Now you know one.
One,
Now you
yeah.
know one. So that's interesting. You got and not to say that you lead with that because you lead with what you do now, but these are the parts, right? Like these things are interesting. People find them fascinating. These are the weird things that they will like anchor in their minds, like these little bits and pieces, right? This is why like random people are like, oh, Ruthie's got goats. And then like people actually recognize the brass statues on my bookshelf and they're like, yeah, Ruthie did fitness competitions. And I'm like, who are you? Like, how many of my TikTok videos have you seen? But they just know, right? That being a journalist, like, I mean, obviously you actually lived through it, but for all the like regular folk, the non-journalist folk, it sounds cool. I know it probably wasn't cool. I know it probably wasn't cool most of the time, but like it sounds really cool to people, so it sticks out.
Yeah, I mean, it was a cool job. I feel like, you know what I feel like? I feel like I'm almost not bragging, but like I've lived a lot of lives, right? I mean, you know this because I feel like you're similar in that you do a lot of things, right? I was a professional jazz singer for a decade and toured and spent time in Hong Kong and like, you know, recorded an album. Like I did that. And then I was a journalist on Network News and a crime reporter. But it's like, I just feel like I'm like, and like,
and so what? So
I feel
what?
awkward
Right
about it.
on yourself.
No.
It's my Canadianism.
Yeah.
I just feel like.
Maybe maybe it's Canadianism, but also women are kind of socialized that way in Western societies. But particularly when there's being like, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Like you want to throw that stuff out there. And actually, speaking of all the other things that Angelina used to do, I think it was either a TikTok or it was an IG reel, but the video itself caused me to leave this comment. I said, I'm about to become your morally gray stalker. Like the picture she picked, that was like, hello. About to be taking a trip up to Toronto.
Please do. Or I'll meet you in New York. You can be there.
Yes, come scoop me up.
So anyway, I left journalism for a variety of reasons, but one of which was that it was really draining emotionally and mentally. And, you know, dealing with all of the, like, nothing ever turned out well for anyone I ever wrote about or talked about. And, you know, after doing that for like 15 years, I couldn't do it anymore. So I shied away from a little bit doing like the mystery and the crime, even though I hear from like, I've done coaching, I've done like things like that. And people are like, oh, you would be great for thriller. You would be great for crime. Like, just give me some vampires and, you know, some demons and a happy ending and
an HEA.
Totally happy.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what I want.
I could only do thriller books where they get the bad guy. Like I can't have y'all like cliffhanging me and leaving the bad guy out there.
A good cliffhanger.
Although Nicole's book, this is my segue. So like I was staying away from it intentionally, and then I read Nicole's book, which, Ruthie, there are no redeeming character redemption. Everyone is a villain in this story. So like it is fantastic though.
That sounds practical, honestly.
Sounds like real life.
So like, which is weird about me because I was just like, no, don't do that. But I'm like, zombie apocalypse happens. I'm gonna be like a weird criminal farmer. Like, don't approach my house. Like you're gonna get it, and not in a good way. Like not in the romance novel way. You're gonna get it in the zombie thriller way. Like, you know,
you're gonna lure them to your barn. So
like your house and my house are gonna be like where people are gonna want to go because like we have the goats, we have the like survival.
I'm gonna say, send the goats out.
Sacrifice the goats? Is that what you're...
No, that's where we're gonna get sustenance.
Sacrifice
the chickens, the eggs, and all that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I would love to hear from Nicole about so Nicole, if this was this your first audiobook?
Yes.
So how did you find the experience as like a first time author? How did you find the experience making your audiobook?
A breeze. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than what it was. And Angelina was like, really, I mean, we talk all the time, so I like that kind of helped too. So it was always like, oh, I'm going to do this chapter. Oh, I'm going to do this. How does this sound? Like there was a lot of feedback or a lot of communication between the both of us. So I feel like that was just made it a lot easier. I just always thought that we gave the narrators the book and they were like, here you go. Goodbye. We're done. Can't talk to us anymore. So that was kind of good to see.
That's awesome. We love to hear it.
Well, and I think some of us are spoiled though, because like Paige and Ruthie and Allie and Angeli, you guys are like in it. Like
Yes.
you immerse yourselves. You don't just look at the book as a story. You look at it as like a work of art, and you want to deal with the artist. Oh, there are a lot of narrators out there who do just look. What are my lines? And and then they
Just
turn
practice.
out.
Yeah, and I think because of TikTok too, it's a lot, and this even goes
Yeah.
for like other authors that I found and like even other readers. There's a lot. I guess the line doesn't exist on TikTok where it'd be like, okay, you're the narrator, I'm the author, and we need to stay on our separate sides. It's like very blurred, and I know that can always go both ways.
Yeah.
Authors behaving badly, but whole other conversation for another day. But I feel like in this aspect, it actually works better because I'm very particular about certain things, and I feel like she was like, "Yeah, no, it's fine." So it's
But
definitely
that's
a smooth
awesome.
process.
That's
I
awesome.
love it. Well, I find that like when I've worked with like audiobook publishers, like you are not allowed to contact the author. Like you cannot. It is rule. You may not contact the author, and I find that so hard because I love the interaction. I love that. What do you think of this? Am I going in the right direction? Can I share this clip? Do you want this clip? I'm going live. Do you want to come in the live? Like, I love that interaction, and I find it so difficult because I'm like recording a book live for an author who may not even know I'm recording, and I'm like, I wish they could just be here and,
I feel like
listen.
that you end up having more like corrections. Well, I guess maybe then if you're not working directly with the author may not have like a bunch of corrections for you. But like, I feel like a lot of it as well is like we really want to get a good understanding so we can get it right the first time.
Yes.
And so like you don't want to have like little interaction and little direction and then have them be like, well, no, that's not at all what I was wanting. And it's like, but I didn't know, and I wasn't able to do my very thorough like character sheet and like conversation to start it.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of times they tell you like they'll be like, oh, here, put all the information for the narrator that you need, and I'm like, okay, cool, but I have the memory of a flea, so I can't remember shit.
You make
So if it comes like I'm gonna forget. So, but if she comes up to a part, I'm like, oh, I forgot about that part. Can you do it like this? I feel like that's a little bit easier than having her go back and redoing it because I can't remember anything. So it's just like,
and you don't know what you don't know as well. So like you don't know things that like might be relevant to us, but like you're not really thinking of. Like somebody has an accent like later on in the book, or somebody has like a really small part in the first book, but then like they become a really big character in book 2 and book 3. So then you end up doing some like gravelly kind of harsh voice for him, and then be like, oh crap, like they're the narrator for the whole rest of the second book, and I have to recreate that. So, and like you wouldn't necessarily as an author be thinking about those kinds of things, and it's our job to tell you.
Yes, I will say that I feel like TikTok also kind of helps me kind of gauge like how hype we're going to be, right? Because I like to hype. I'm big on hyping. But like if you're not super big on hyping, like, and I don't just know that you're just like busy, then I'm be like, oh, I don't want to be extra. Like, I don't want you to think I'm being extra. I don't care if everybody else thinks I'm extra, but like, I want to hype you up. Right. And so like, if we're working through a company, then it's hard to tell. But like with the authors that like I just connect with like directly on TikTok, then I'm like, oh no, I know the level of hype we're working with here. I've seen your videos. I know how this is going to go. Right. Like, so that's the other thing.
I love you and Santana Knox. You guys are hilarious together. I love watching that.
Like, why we do that? I don't know. I don't know how that keeps happening. Like, I swear to y'all, we don't plan that. Like, that's not planned. Like, that's just like, it's like improv dancing. We're somehow pulling off these like complicated choreographies. But yeah, so like I feel like TikTok helps with that too. Is like not only do I get to like tag you on stuff, but I also kind of get to see like how things are going for you, and it's nice like to be updated, but also to kind of like offer the support and like just feel very invested. Yeah, sorry, Paige, that sucks.
No.
Yeah, isn't that frustrating, Paige? Especially when you get accustomed to having such great relationships with your authors. right? And you just like, it is this cooperative kind of thing. You're both, you know, working toward creating the best piece of art you can, and then you can't.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we almost forgot the last time so I wasn't here last week because I wasn't sick, but we almost forgot the last call that I was on. So I feel like I just want to throw that out there now that Angelina is supposed to read something. I don't want us to leave that till 10 o'clock again. It was like 9:55 and I was like, shouldn't she be reading something?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to read something?
How are y'all continually surprised about this?
I'm just completely surprised by what you're saying.
I'm gonna say,
Because
remember,
we
I just
had
said
a
my
reading last
memory
week.
is trash, so don't even. I'm gonna stay over here.
I don't know. Did someone tell me? Maybe.
Okay, so consider this a warning shot, I guess. Gather yourself.
Okay.
I'm gonna see Angelina just
All right.
completely dip out of the booth. It's like, what?
Can you like grab that from like the STEM takeover? Do you have that handy? I don't know. Is that harder than finding just something from the book?
I know I'll find something. I have to make sure that it's
That's the hard
you don't get
part.
it like appropriate. Yeah, I'll find something. Well, just continue.
Oh, well, I mean, if you'd like, you could certainly, you know, like eggplant.
Okay.
Or maybe you just like leave it quiet and make faces and we know that we're supposed to fill in the blank.
I'll give you a little. Okay. All right. Okay, well, we can carry on the conversation and all.
No.
No, we're all gonna
watch
stare at you now.
We're just gonna stare.
Watch you until you get something.
It makes me self-conscious now.
So Nicole, tell us about some of your books.
Yeah,
you have a lot of books. Are they connected or are they standalone?
A lot of books. Like I was looking through them. You have quite a few.
I have like a bunch. Because I always have a lot to say, apparently. No. So the book that she's narrating is a standalone. It is a thriller with the FMC and the MMC, or Serial Unalivers. That's a standalone, though. I prefer standalones over series because I have such a short attention span. So by the time I get to like book 2, I'm just like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. So, but I have a bunch of series. Next week is a release for the last book in my council series, which is a mafia romance. That one has a female boss, and each book follows a different couple, but essentially it's still the female boss's story. So it's like intertwined, it's super connected. It's just huge. It's more plot than character driven. She basically had to come back home and take over her father's territory because her father was unalived. And her grandfather kind of kidnapped her and held her hostage in Colombia and basically raised her and groomed her to take over his organization. So when she comes back, she gets hit with a lot of issues, not only because she's a female, but because they unalived her father, thinking that he was one of the last heads of like the 5 families, and they were like, yeah, you're done. You gotta go. So she goes back to reclaim that, and the rest of the people that are against her are like, yeah, this is not happening. It's a man's world. You have no place in this. And she basically shows them that, yeah, no, we run shit. Try again. And so that's that series. I have a Lion King retelling, A Family Affair, with a little twist. That also has a female boss. My Tessero series, that's my series. I love that series. That's also mafia romance. If you haven't figured it out, I have a thing for mafia romance.
No.
Just insane. So that one, I love that one. That one was like my, that changed how I write. That was my grown-up story almost. I feel like because that one came out, like I was writing it, but my friend got sick and then she passed away, and then I kind of stopped writing it. I shelved it. And I was just like, I'm not doing anything anymore. I'm done with life. It sucks to be here and all that fun stuff. And then I just I picked it up one day and I was like, you know what? Let's do this for her. So I feel like that one's my grown-up story. That one is the son of a mob boss. He kind of doesn't want his father's throne. Like he's trying to separate himself from the lifestyle, even goes as far as to change his last name. He gets his own construction company. He ends up meeting the FMC, who she's her own boss. She has a bunch of businesses in New York City, but a lot of her businesses coincide in the territory of the organization. So they end up like meeting each other. She has a boyfriend that's like a huge slow burn, and their chemistry is like 90s R&B chemistry.
Oh.
Like that's the best way I can describe it.
Get the massage oil, get the candles.
Yeah, like everything. Like they're intimate without ever having to be intimate, if that makes sense. Physically intimate.
That's cool.
They are. And then so the story they basically decide that they can't be together because he ends up stepping up for his father to take over. And he's like, obviously, I don't want to get this to touch you. I want you to be safe. So they kind of like part ways. The second book is about the enforcer. We call him Big Zaddy Bear because he's nasty, but like in a good way. And that's an age gap romance.
I like that way.
Yes. He gets with the FMC of the first book's best friend, so there's like a huge age gap there, but it's fine. And then the last it's fine. And then the last book is basically the series gets concluded. And then I have no more about it. I have Sins of Seduction, which is my spicy suspense, spicy thriller. The FMC owns a Specs Club. As you can see, all my FMCs are like in boss categories. Like I refuse to have an FMC that's not in. Yes, I did say age gap. Age gap is in.
She said a big one. She said a big one.
It's a big one.
So are we talking like Silver Fox Zaddy? Is that level we're at?
I don't ever say their age. Like I don't specify their ages, but the enforcer, is best friends with the MC's father. Like they came up together. So basically, he looks at the MC like his son. So there's at least I was gonna say 20. To me, that's where the gap is. But she's older, so it's not like she's 18. They're like these are older women. She said off to find the books.
That's the goal.
Yes. So Sins of Seduction is a standalone, but I do have a novella that's after it, which is Lush. That is all spicy. There's no plot. It's 3 short stories. It's all wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Yeah. So it's Sins. It's a spicy thriller. The FMC is the owner of a Specs Club. Her on again, off again boyfriend comes up very religious. So his parentals are like very religious. Like you can't. This is wrong. This is right. Having these desires are wrong. So that ends up being like a sore spot for their relationship. So they constantly breaking up, getting back together because we can never leave somebody alone when we're supposed to. But he finally gets his head out of his ass and he's like, I want to explore this with you. So they make their way back together. But she has a stalker that's trying to like destroy something. So it gets like spicy and dicey again. That's my new favorite thing. And there's
I don't know if that sticks around. That could be like a brand phrase.
I feel like it should be
spicy and dicey, like.
So there's group scenes, group play, FF, M scenes, FMF scenes. I'm trying to figure out acronyms that I can't remember. But that's all fun stuff. And then I have a spin-off for that series coming actually April of this year called the Sirens Pleasure Club series.
You are busy.
I am, but I'm missing books. I know I am.
When did you start writing, and how many would you say you put out in a year?
So I started writing. I've always written. Like I have I still have the diary my mom gave me when I was 10, and like the very first page was like, oh my god, I'm so excited I have a diary because now I can use this instead of my school books to write in.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I got in trouble when I was younger for actually writing in my school books that weren't school stuff. I first published in 2013, and that first book was Shattered, and that was actually a college paper. I needed an easy A class, so I took creative writing. They like did 2 short stories, so that was one of them. And then I would say before, because I work full time, so before I wasn't publishing like that. I was like every other year I was publishing, and then at the start of 2020, I had published 10 books, and by the end of last year I was like 23 books.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know what the math is on that.
You're putting them out. That's all that matters.
That is awesome.
Yeah, sheesh. Very cool.
Wow.
Did you find it?
I did. I found one.
Is it a good scene? Like we can like say all the words or just not?
Most of them.
Most is good.
It is a scene where Zaya and Nova are sitting in the coffee shop, and Nova is staring at Zaya, and she's like, "Why do you keep looking at me like that?"
Okay, that's the good scene.
Huh.
Are you gonna read it up to when Veronica comes in? Because you know I love Zaya and Veronica's interactions.
Okay. Yes. How long should I read? What's the rule?
Whatever you want to do. Whatever you guys are comfortable with.
Okay, because Veronica doesn't come in on this scene. Do you want me to choose a different one then?
That's fine, I guess. I just like because Veronica's a bully, and I just like when she gets put in her place. But that's just
all right. Let me do it. I'll do that one. I'll find that one. Never mind.
You
Hi, Marissa. Hi.
Yes.
See, okay, so next time we're talking return on investment for your time. I feel like this was time well spent.
What happens here stays here.
We're not gonna tell nobody. It's okay.
Nobody knows.
We'd have to tell on each other. Y'all know it as well as I do.
Yeah. Who you kidding? Every time I go to Barnes and Nobles, I'm like, one book, Nicole, one book, and then I end up in some weird section. And I'm like, oh my god, this cover is so pretty. I need it, and I pick it up and I take it home. And I always leave with like 6 books. And I'm like, who told you that this many books is what we needed?
That is how they get you. Those covers. I can't with the covers, the specialty covers. I will buy 3 of the same book with specialty covers. I don't care. It's art.
I'm a cover. I can literally I'll be in the science fiction section and I'm like, oh my god, this cover is so pretty. I don't even read this, but I'm gonna read it because I need this cover.
Thank you. I hope you love it.
Yay!
Yay! Daddy
Yay.
does it low. I wonder if that's a spam account.
Oh no, he's not.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Scotty.
Sorry, I'm still looking for this. Continue.
We're
Do you know
all literally right here for you.
We're gonna watch you fight. It's in the coffee shop scene. Doesn't she come in after? I think it's like the next chapter over.
Is it? The silence is it's just and I'm sick too.
You're working so well under the pressure, though. It's
You are.
It's
I
amazing.
told you to read that scene. But
This was just meant to be a mindful moment.
Yeah.
That's all. We're just appreciating this opportunity for togetherness.
Right.
This opportunity where somebody's not asking me to get the crackers or asking me to fish the toy out of the toilet. Like, peace. Peace.
Well, we know Jennifer has an entire paper full of questions.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to look like it got gnawed on by mice, but I do have it.
Why is it being gnawed on?
It's not. It's from my anxious pinching off camera. Where I just I just pinch it. To,
Okay, so you need a fidgeter.
Yeah, I'm always jealous of when Ruthie's gone or dead.
Yeah, constantly have fidgets in my hand.
No, that's why it looks like it got gnawed on by mice. But I do have a question if you'd like me to ask one while Angelina prepares. Well, obviously you don't get writer's block, so.
No, I do. I have.
What?
I do. I mean, it's not as bad as it used to be. Like before, pre-COVID, I was just like, no, I can't write anything. But now it's like, I don't know why. I guess because with everything going on, my ADHD makes me hyper focused on things. So as soon as I catch that hyper focus, it's a wrap. I just gotta catch it.
I don't get that
Ooh.
anymore.
I
I'm
love the hyperfocus.
I love that you are making that work for you. That's what I love.
I have to
Yeah.
catch it. If I don't catch it, I mean, I'm in that weird place where it's like I have an appointment at 2:00, so I can't do anything until I do the appointment. So that's the only thing. It's me trying to catch it. But as soon as I
So
catch it,
you're like a prophetess who, once it's happening, like I got to do something with it.
yeah, pretty much.
Cannot delay the prophecy receiving. It happens.
Pretty much. And if it's like I said, if I can't, I should probably clean the house, but I'm gonna focus on the writing. So I take the wins where I can take them.
A win is a win.
Yep.
A win is a
Win is a
win.
win. A win is a win. It sure is. All right, so we'll go with an easy one. Well, maybe. Most relatable character to you?
Relatable character.
Yeah.
So all of my characters, I feel like, especially the FMCs, except for maybe like 2 books, I feel like for me, in the stages that I wrote the book in. So like
Okay.
my first book, the FMC was who I was when I published it. So I'm gonna say my most recent was Sins of Seduction with Raven, just where she is in her power and her essence of who she is. Like she's so secure in herself that the ground can shake and she'll still stand steady. Like for me, that's who I probably embody the most now. And my serial unaliver in Behind the Mask, just because I don't know, I just like her.
No, that's cool.
Like she would be me if I let my moral compass go.
I feel that. I feel that.
That's funny. Has there been a scene that's been difficult for you to write? That maybe took a lot of research or just maybe emotionally difficult?
Research. I say research wise, and I'm not gonna say any scenes because I don't want to get banned. But I hate doing certain research for certain things because I feel like the FBI is gonna come for me. So what I do is I enlist. So I went to school for John Jay Criminal Justice. I went to become a forensic psychologist. One of my best friends also went to school there, so she's like really heavy into like stuff that I'm not gonna speak about without getting us banned. So I generally don't actually research to research. I just pull from other people's experiences. So if I have to go down, all of my friends are going down with me.
Nice.
So I'm like, yeah. So if they scooping me up, they gotta scoop everybody up, and I know they're not gonna scoop all of us up. So.
That's funny. So Angelina, we good?
We're good.
Cool.
We got it.
Yay.
Okay. Am I doing it now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute me so I don't make any
can't
noise.
mute, so I'll be quiet.
Okay.
Okay. I'm probably gonna just hack up a lung first. Okay. The coffee shop fell away again when Zaya pinned her with her dark gaze. A lion with its prey under its sharp claws. Nova couldn't move, and a part of her didn't want to. Nova wasn't sure what she wanted Zaya to say, but she leaned forward, desperate to hear her answer. Something I'm sure you'll be all too willing to give me, Nova, Zaya murmured right before her eyes narrowed, and she looked over Nova's right shoulder. Well, if it isn't the adorable couple out for a mid-afternoon pick-me-up, Veronica sneered. And this time, Nova's body shook for an entirely different reason. Veronica had been the bane of her existence since grade school. And since neither of them left Old Evergreen, Veronica never grew up and out of her bully phase. She used Nova as her punching bag, especially after her exes almost destroyed her. You know, Zaya started. Nova looked over at her. She seemed so relaxed and at ease except for the way she stared at Veronica. She felt a chill run down her spine. Even though Zaya's attention wasn't directed at Nova, she still felt the kiss of death that look invoked. I can't decide if you're for the sake of being one, or if you're just mad that someone other than you is getting their 8. Veronica's gasp was audible. I have never... Zaya cut her off. That's obvious. A piece of advice, Veronica. There's a whole world outside of this town that would swallow you up and spit you out. You may think you're a queen, a god, whatever complex you have that makes you think you're untouchable. But there's monsters lurking everywhere that wouldn't hesitate to cut you open just to hear you scream. Nova's face paled at Zaya's words. When she glanced up at Veronica, she saw the fear mirrored in her expression. Is that a threat? Veronica tried to sound like her confident self, but failed miserably. Zaya smiled. Just a friendly advice from someone who's lived outside of this town. Being a bitch won't save you. Being nice won't either. But at least there will be someone to miss and mourn you if you're nice. For the first time, Veronica didn't have a witty comeback or snarky reply. She just turned around and left Pops without so much as an annoyed huff. When Nova looked back at Zaya, she couldn't believe at how at ease she appeared. Nova never understood the saying that even in a cage, a lion is still a lion, until now. And scene.
So good.
That was awesome. You really do have a great voice.
See?
Yeah, that is such a really nice smoky voice. I love it. It was
Yeah.
so...
Thank you.
Oh.
All right. That was fun. Wasn't it
Love
great? Oh, wait, her scenes have
Yeah, no, that was
great
good.
tension.
Filling in the blanks was fun. Like every time you had to like pause and like your brain's
Yeah.
like, okay, what word was it? Like, okay, yeah, I'm tracking.
That was fun. I liked that.
That was
Sleep.
very
If you
good.
can tell, Veronica's mean.
Veronica's awful.
Yes, we hate Veronica.
Yes.
Is this a standalone book?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So does she have time to get a redeeming character arc?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Wonderful. Okay, great. I love it when I can put characters in the trash and then make fun of them while they're in there. So.
Oh no, it's good. It's really good. Like she gets her justice.
Yes, that is a thing. I don't know. Maybe we're trying to be like multi-layered or very like psychologically sophisticated, but I don't want you to redeem every character. Like sometimes I don't have to empathize with the bad guy. Let me just hate them a little bit, like, or a lot, really. Like let me just hate them a lot. Don't give them a heart. I want them to be like Rita from the Power Rangers. No redeeming qualities.
I love Rita.
Well, you wrote a book with all villains, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
All of them. But you want to like them. Like I a little bit of me was like rooting for Zaya.
Oh, okay. I was like, who
No,
are you
yeah.
rooting for?
I was like, yeah, she's not cheering for Rita, I guess. I feel like that's
Veronica?
a safe
No.
I was making sure it was either Zaya or B that you were rooting for, because I was like, even Nova. I mean, I guess, but
Not.
Nova's really much with Mary Sue.
She wasn't my favorite.
No, mine either.
Yeah. I mean, Zaya, she tried to fight it. She tried. She wanted to be a good person.
That's clearly still impacting. Which is good. Which is good. We want that from our books. We want that from our books.
Absolutely.
Well, I feel like I've been really lucky as a narrator. I don't know if you've experienced this, but like the authors like Lily Casey's in the comments, like I've been really lucky to get to make connections with authors who write really complicated, emotional, just wreck you and throw you onto the floor kind of books. And I love it. Like every time I'm prepping these books, I'm in tears and I'm messaging the authors just like, as my heart is breaking, and I love those kinds of books, and I feel like this was definitely one of them that.
For a whole different reason, I feel like. Yeah, it wasn't a Nicholas Sparks reason.
Well, that's funny because then I also like kind of think like what's not like the opposite of that, but like as another like high spike on the spectrum, I just immediately my brain went to An Insect's Desire. Allie? Because Allie did, yeah, I just,
She was
wow, man.
What's that? What? Tell me. I don't know.
I literally thought she had
Sorry,
frozen.
I was zoned out.
Like,
I was like not present.
I see that. Because I literally thought your ass had been frozen.
No.
No. It was just my brain. Sorry. This time of night my meds were off. I was like full on disassociating.
That's actually fine, but I was also just thinking about how I feel like it's always you. I feel like it's always you, whether it's vegan or something like.
Oh God, I was waiting for vegan.
It is. Sorry.
Okay, so what I was saying, quick recap. So Angelina's talking about how like she's getting like her authors are serving up books that just leave her like, you know, destitute on the floor with no heart. Well, made the shards of her broken heart. And I was like, well, on the, you know, as another bump on that emotional spectrum, we've also got books like An Insect's Desire, which didn't leave you destitute on the floor. But God, in my head, I'm like, I'm pretty good about not breaking character. But like some of the lines that you shared with us from that, I'm like, my character would have been broken on the floor repeatedly. Like I would have had to record that book in sentences.
Oh yeah, no. There was definitely parts that. So wait, have you listened to it?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
It's hilarious.
It's one of those things I'm not sure I could get through.
It's hilarious. You got to. It's worth it.
What book is this? I don't know what you're talking about.
Get through it either.
Okay, Allie, you have to tell them about, because there's probably even people live who don't know what it is.
Okay, so then I think Monroe might still be here. So Monroe Wildrose and Emma Steinbrecher went on like a co-writing bender, and they just kind of like kept one-upping each other, and like one would write a chapter and then one would write the next chapter, and it's basically just a parody of everything we love and also like hate about monster romance. It's just super over the top, like every trope that could possibly exist. And they basically edited it for grammar only. It was like first draft, final draft, just like absolute ridiculousness. And they said, like, we're going to publish this and all the proceeds are going to go to charity because both their husbands are firefighters. So then I was like, well, when this as well, and they're like, no, trust me, you don't want to do this. And I was like, oh yes I do, this is gonna be great. And then somehow yes, my little aphid page, somehow PJ got roped into it, so because it was dual POV, so PJ narrated oh my gosh, King Sarsour, the king of the Sedabatera. Anyway, but yeah, it's full of like super cheesy, really bad lines.
Beetle.
I'm not like other girls. What?
I said he's a big beetle. It's a big like beetle monster.
Yeah, he's a giant beetle.
Bug.
He's a beetle king with antenna, and yeah,
and like a baseball bat for a member.
There's yeah, yeah, it's a baseball bat at one point.
Yeah.
I have codes for it if you want. I can send it to you. It's available everywhere except Amazon. Amazon will not touch it. It is dungeoned. Like, you can't even search for it on Audible. Like, it's, for whatever reason, they did it through Findaway and it's released everywhere. It's on Spotify, so you can't find it on Audible. So, yeah, and I basically,
y'all are too hot for Audible.
Allie.
Yeah, but I was basically recording, like you said, one line at a time, because then I would just, like, break down, and then I'd be like, okay, I gotta psych myself up to say what I need to say and just like power through it. Yeah. My
And
finest
the
work.
couple of parts where they have like the voice effects. Oh my god!
Oh, are there sound effects?
I think twice. Does it happen twice? Hilarious! Oh, the first time it happened, I water out my nose. It was so funny.
And I feel like of all of us,
yeah. So I had
like,
to have a serious.
but I feel like of all of us, like I mean, not like the four of us. Like you're like the YA innocent voice.
Yeah,
very
No.
that's
deceiving.
why it's funny. You got to listen to Pumpkin Spice and Pour Overs, though. That's the first one under my new pseudo. You'll hear some things out of me you've never heard before. But
Okay.
yeah, no, I'm very much yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
right.
so I had
It's
to
a
have
must
a
listen.
conversation with.
Everybody should
What?
hear it. I said it's
Yeah.
a must listen. Everybody should listen to it.
It was professionally edited by AB Book Services. So, like, it's on, like, that's the funniest part about it. So I had to have a serious conversation where I emailed Antoine, was like, hey, so, just so you know, this is a parody. But we had to have, like, a serious conversation, like, special effects we were going to do and stuff. And he did it quite professional. So
Did he tell you
Antoine,
what he
come in
thought
clutch.
about it after he did
go
the
find it
after
now
he
on
did the work?
Spotify. No, and I did not ask. His only reaction when I initially sent it to him was, "Oh, spicy." Which again, he's edited my last like 5 books, so he knows that I'm mostly like YA and like clean romance and stuff. So he was like, "Oh, okay." This is something different.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's another thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to talk. I felt weird. I felt weird sending my engineer tentacles and teeth. That was the one that really just crossed a lot of lines.
Did you?
I didn't ask either. He didn't bring it up.
Yeah, don't ask, don't tell. But like, I at least
I
know
guess
that
that's the
Antoine
professional
edits
thing
a
to
lot
do.
of spicy stuff. But I don't know if your guy does a lot of spicy editing. If that's
I
like,
mean, like, I'm pretty sure he does, but I had never sent him one quite like that.
and Tentacles and Teeth was like a
So what was it
whole
about?
other level.
Yeah, what was it about that?
They have seen so much Paige.
What was it about tentacles and teeth?
Yeah, what was it about that one specifically?
So the books I had done before that, so I think the one that will come, like, probably be on the same level as Tentacles and Teeth, but, like, further into the series was Night in His Eyes, which Night in His Eyes is primarily, like, primo tension, but if you joined for tension, that gets kind of shattered in book 2 and then obliterated in book 3. Just warning on that. But the thing about Tentacles and Teeth is that the author is very, in the schmink world and has a lot of knowledge, right? Just just tons of knowledge, right? And a lot of that gets woven into the book. On one hand, the people participating in this, throuple potential situation are they communicate. They do a good job communicating with each other, which I feel like we don't always see a lot in a romance setting. But the femme character has magical shadow tentacles, and then there's a human woman, and then the werewolf who brings the teeth. But, have you read any tentacle books?
My first book ever as a narrator was an alien romance, and he had 8 tentacles.
Okay, so cool. All right, so at least some of the
Logistics.
interests of tentacles. Why we might be interested in this concept of tentacles. So there's all of that, and then the fact that there was a menage, as well as like a primal chase scene that leads into the menage. That's again very well described. Lots of explicit detail, and I hadn't quite done anything like that I've sent to my engineer. And I have yet to send him something quite at that level since.
Fair enough. Okay. I'm doing a book in a few months, and the author released like her list, her trigger warnings and list of things, and I had to Google a couple of them. I'm like, and I feel like I at this point I know everything, but clearly
No, there's always something new.
no.
Yeah.
And I'm still, sometimes you see narrators doing those videos where they're like reading the romance novel and then they're kind of trying to figure out how something works. And I'm like, okay, it's a funny video, but I've never been in that position before. But now I'm like, how, like I haven't read it yet. So I'm like, how does this work though? Is this medically sound? I don't know.
No.
Well, maybe you should do some searches in an incognito window.
Oh, I did. It's going to be fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that you guys are so
Jennifer,
good
do you have
this
more
year.
questions?
Oh, do I have
Okay.
questions?
You are
Oh no,
the question keeper.
DJ asked the question
Yeah,
first.
DJ, what did
DJ asked the question. I don't want to
Jen,
overshadow her.
What?
what's your question, DJ?
Oh, I thought you said something.
I don't have a question.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you
Don't do
said
that to me.
something.
Yeah,
and
you
I
look like you were
was
saying
talking
something.
over you.
What were you saying? You were saying something.
Were you saying that it's that she's so busy?
I said I'm so happy you all are busy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, yay. I thought you were asking a question, and then I was like, oh no, I like talked over her.
Oh my gosh. Listen, y'all.
Myself, not you.
I am from the Midwest. You can't come at me like that. I crumble. You see how red the face just got?
I was yelling
Mine
at
stays
myself,
pale.
not you. I'm trying to do
I went on attack. Gonna catch hands. Anyway,
That
Jen,
is so
questions.
I'm sorry, DJ. I love you.
I love you.
I think we covered a whole lot of them, though. So feel free to ask.
Okay, I have a question. What, because it doesn't have to be all about me or us, right? What book conventions is everyone going to this year? Like book signings,
You're an APAC, aren't
other
you?
events, narrator events, yeah, APAC, or like, what is it? Something in Seattle, something on the Rock, Love on the Rock.
There's Sleepless in Seattle. I'm going to Salem in September.
Well, I only have.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, you have the Salem one.
yeah.
Okay.
I know a couple people going to the Salem one. I only
Yeah,
have the
it's-
one. I just have Books, Gowns, and Crowns in Tampa, and weekend of May 19th. And then, yeah.
Yeah, I'm speaking at APAC, and then I'm going to a Polycon. I'm just going to it. Well, I actually get to be somebody's assistant at a Polycon. That's how I got into Polycon. So I'm gonna be working.
I know, because that is sold out.
It's sold out. Yeah, it's sold out in like 2 seconds. So yeah, so I'm going.
Wow.
I'm working at a Polycon, and then I'm going to Imaginarium with Paige, and I am speaking at Smut Lovers in November. That one's down in Florida.
Yes. Nice.
Did you say you're speaking at APAC? You're speaking?
I did say that.
Oh, that's exciting.
Thank you.
Are you able to elaborate? Or no? No
Yeah, I
pressure.
think so. No, yeah, I think so. I'll be on a panel. I'm a panel related to like TikTok and marketing. So Yeah,
Okay.
so
Are
I'm
you
excited. And then, yeah, I'm excited because I was like, what? Really? Me? Okay. So yeah, so I mean, I'm excited. I've spoken at events before, but I'm particularly excited about this opportunity. You know, what with it, you know, coming at the time that it has. And then at Smut Lovers, I'm speaking on like diversity and inclusion for characters, which sounds like an odd fit, but because I was like, wait, what other ones are y'all gonna have? And I was like, it's fine. I'm gonna turn it into a joke and be like, I know y'all just came from the rope class. That's okay. All books deserve diversity and inclusion, no matter who you tie it up. So, so that's, you know, it's gonna be there as like a resource for authors, and they're still kind of ironing out some of the topics. So I don't know if they're going to do something for audiobooks, which they might. They still have, you know, quite a few different topics on the table for Smut Lovers, and that one's in November. So
Okay. That's
Awesome.
That's awesome. Jen, where are you going?
I'm going to Getting Witchy with It this year with DJ and Paige. And I was supposed to go to High Octane, but I wimped out.
Why?
So I'm not doing, because I just wimped out.
You don't want to meet people? Do you have social? You don't want
Yeah, I have like major social anxiety, and I'm awkward. I make everything weird, and it's like was supposed to be held at like this motorcycle club with like a bunch of hot dudes.
That would
And
be
it's gonna
perfect,
be like,
though.
yeah, I just got scared and I was like, I don't want to go. So maybe in 2024.
Can
'cause
you
I
go
wimped
as
out.
a reader? So maybe if you go as a reader, you can get like the lay of the land type thing, and then that might.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't
that's
know.
a good plan. That's a good plan.
Just scope it out and be like, what is this
Go without
about?
they just be like, all right, this
Yeah.
is as scary as I thought it was going to be, and it'll be able to
Right.
prep you for next year.
Yeah, show your lizard brain that everything is fine.
My lizard brain. Okay.
Yeah, it's the lizard
Yeah, they
brain.
have,
Lizard
like-
brain's
they
trying to
have,
save
like-
your life right now.
Yeah, they have like this bondage thing there where,
Oh.
you know, they're going to like tie you up and stuff like that. And I'm like,
I'm with
you
you.
come at me with anything and there's going to be a problem.
Wait.
I don't know.
There's hot guys and bondage, and you chickened out. Give me
And
your
they
chicken.
invited me. Like, I didn't even ask to go. They came to me. It was like, would you come? And I was, at first I was like, hell yeah. Oh my God. Somebody invited me. And then I was like, shrink.
I will
No.
sit right there, front and center. Watch hot guys with bondage. I don't care.
Like I
I
will
get
volunteer.
nervous. I get really nervous.
I get more nervous around women. Like, I'm more nervous around you five than I am around any man. Men do
I
not
get nervous
intimidate.
around
Especially when we
everyone
yell
and
at you.
everything.
Yeah.
Lizard brain.
Women are scary.
Women are terrifying, y'all.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have any friends. Like, I did not have friends growing up that were female. Girls are scary.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be
Girls
hiding
are
behind
scary.
little pages
Angie,
with
you're
you. You know I'm gonna have
You're
my
being funny.
hat with this guide in it.
Yeah. Women are scary.
Oh my
They
God.
are.
What about you, Nicole? Where are you
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so either. But
You know?
They
No.
intimidate me.
I'm like antisocial. I'm sort of antisocial. I've become a social media extrovert, but in my real life, I'm like, just hide me in a box, and I don't. Like, I can't.
I'm
I'm extroverted.
I'm extroverted outside on the internet. I'm like, I'll sit back and watch.
Really.
I grew up without the internet, so it's like
Hey, Nikki.
the internet is so weird for me sometimes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like it because you can just turn it off. It's easy.
What, like live?
Yeah.
Just
No.
X and down?
You can't, Ruthie, you're gonna take apart my argument.
No, I mean, in theory, you can turn it off, but, you know, digital addiction is definitely a documented growing thing that's attracting quite a bit of research, particularly because it doesn't involve, well, I can't say it doesn't involve any chemicals, can I? But it involves the chemicals in the brain, but no other types of chemicals. And of course, they've got other instances of like not substance related types of, addictions. But yeah, digital addiction is a thing. And, they're doing research into circadian rhythms, how easy of a habit it is to break or not, like all types of stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I just find it easier.
But Angela, are you? Oh, sorry, I keep getting distracted. So did you say where you're going? Because you're doing are you doing Love in Vegas or 20 Books to 50K? I know you're doing a Vegas one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm going to Vegas as a fan.
Okay, so but to Love in Vegas?
Yeah, Love in Vegas. I'm gonna go to Love in Vegas.
That's so exciting! I wanted to go to that.
I mean,
that's the one I did.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. You're just gonna have. It
was really fun.
You're gonna have to tell me where you ate, because you got food poisoning the first day, didn't you?
Oh my God! Did you?
Oh.
I did. It was my hotel. It was our low budget like hot wire hotel that we stayed in, and I think it was something that I ate immediately when I got to the hotel. Did not agree with me, and so this is the first in real life.
Sorry, you were cutting out. I can't.
You're frozen now.
Now she really
is.
Okay.
Yeah, now she is.
Okay, so
she's
the moral
not
of that story is avoid the hotel food.
Avoid the.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just going as a fan, because last year didn't it look like I watched the live stream of what was it? These Walls Can Talk. Is that what it's? What was the? No, I forget the name. They had the live stream of Aaron Mallon's book with a bunch of different people.
Is it back?
Yeah, you're back.
Hi.
Okay. I really.
Oh no, not it.
Read her palm while she's got it up there.
It's like you guys are all frozen. I don't know what's happening.
You were frozen like perfect position.
You froze right after you said, you were like, hi! And then you froze.
Oh my God, you're going to throw me into a coffee pit. Okay, yeah, I got the VIP one. Is that what you're asking, Nikki? Nikki was asking in the comments. So avoid the hotel food, is what you're saying.
Yes, avoid the hotel.
Well, depends on the hotel. Depends on the hotel, because I stayed in Vegas for my anniversary. Mm-hmm. So we stayed in a really nice place. So their food and restaurant was great.
Probably.
It was the budget place, and I think it was really spicy too. So I think it did something to me.
Allie. It keeps freezing in the best parts.
No, I'm sorry. Look, look. What got me laughing was when she said that it was spicy, my brain did not immediately think of food. So in my head, I thought she went to a really inappropriate hotel. So, I got a visual of what that might look like, and then I realized what she was talking about.
I was trying to think of her in the spicy hotel.
I mean, it's Vegas, right? Mirrors on the ceiling. True. It's like leopard skin.
Listen, if they had hourly rate, spicy hotel.
Round bed with swivels.
No,
that wasn't.
No, it was just really cheap. And cheap chicken and waffles.
Oh, the chicken.
Fair enough.
You went to a cheap hotel and you ate chicken.
Yeah.
That was your mistake. You should have just got bread.
Why didn't you just go to their sushi bar? I mean, if we're just throwing caution to the wind.
I learned my lesson, clearly. And so did Monroe, because now she knows not to travel with me. because apparently I have bad luck. And I was like stuck in the hotel for 24 hours just reading. Well, I was unconscious for like 14 hours straight.
Oh, shit. Aw. Poor
I mean,
Ellie.
she might have appreciated the time to read.
Yeah.
Fair enough. The silence.
Like, I know my people. She might have just got caught up a little bit, did, knock some books off for TBR, maybe.
Yeah.
She was like, actually, this is quite nice. I was worried that we were going to have to be like running all over. This is actually kind of ideal.
That's good.
So, anyway, I like to go to 20 books to 50K.
I've heard that's
That's
good.
like, I think the week before or after. And AB Book Services, I think, has a table. So, and like, some of the narrators have been like, hey, if you want to go, like, you can go. But like, the hotel and flight and everything is a
We're gonna
thing.
book your hotel for you. You're not allowed to book hotels anymore.
Yeah.
Mm,
No. Yeah. So I'm going
get
to
enough
that one, and then I'm
people.
going to APAC. And then I'm going to APAC.
Okay.
I might follow you around, Ruthie. Like, I think Paige and I, when we were talking about it, like, months and months ago, it was like, I'm just going to follow you two around. Otherwise, I will be in the corner on my phone pretending I'm doing something really
I want to go to
important.
APAC.
no, we won't let you do that. We won't let you do that. See, so unfortunately, you're going to be like, oh, I'm a social media extrovert. And I'm like, sorry, I met another version of you, so let's go. This is where we link arms and paint each other's fingernails. Like,
I feel like I'm catfishing people almost, right? Because I'm like, I feel like I'm not like this in real life. Like, I'm not. My sister-in-law heard me talking on a live one night, and she was like, she woke up and she was staying over, and I saw her in the kitchen. She's like, who were you talking to last night? And I was like, some of my TikTok friends. So she's like, I thought, does she have a boyfriend? And I was like, what? She's like, you were just so animated. You were just you sounded happy and you sounded animated. And I thought, oh my God, what do I sound like in real life? Like, I'm like,
yeah, I'm sorry. You said that, like, you're catfishing us, but maybe you're catfishing them.
No.
I like the way you're thinking, Ruthie. Yes, maybe this is the real.
Well, because you're in your safe space. So, yeah, technically.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Like, it's, some of our less than pleasant occurrences in the book talk sphere not included. There's just something about the energy that passes around in book talk where you're just like, I'm here and I feel very comfortable and I'm just this is it. And then when I leave here and I go and get on other platforms or we're talking to people in person whenever that happens at my daily quota of like one a week, it's just different. It's like I guess it's almost like it's interesting because so when I was in the military is like a subculture within at least U.S. American culture, right? Speaking to my specific experience, and like TikTok and but specifically book talk, we've got our own lingo. We refer to historical events in book talk history, as short as it is, but we will collectively refer to events. We got language, we got history, we've got social patterns, things that groups consider acceptable versus things that other groups, vice versa. It's a whole little subculture. I was like, oh, and so my FMC. And they were like, what? Is that a band? What is that? And so then I had to explain the two. Oh, hi, Jesse. So yeah, I don't know. I think, there's something to be said. I would say 9 times out of 10, not including talking with my husband, and we've been married, it's been 11 years. So I've reached a level with him where I'm like, it's genuine. But with everyone else, I realize how much I cut off.
All right. Yeah, profound. Who said that? Somebody said, Emily, I think, said that. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be. Thank you for pulling me in.
Thanks for not ignoring my message request.
Glad you're here.
Never.
We thank all of the extroverts who pull the introverts out to play.
As we do. It's fine though, because then, like, so I'll pull you out to play, but I'm also highly sensitive. So when we're socially hungover the next day, we can be socially hungover together. I also now want my heated blanket and, like, to snuggle. So it's fine.
Gotta recharge the batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Adult parallel play,
Yes.
where it's just like you all sit next to each other, and you're each doing your own
I
thing,
love that.
still like together. Yeah, like how babies play together, but also not really. But yeah,
Beside each other, parallel to each other.
Mhm.
Yep. I
Okay.
love that. Well, thank you for having me.
And me.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Does
Yeah.
anybody have any questions? I don't know what time it is, but I hear a child saying "mommy," so
That's
Again.
from that's the cute.
It's that time.
yeah,
that time.
it's mommy time.
I do have a request. Angela, can you do your My Little Lion?
Oh yeah. That's my little line. Oh God, I'm not warmed up. Wait, give me a second. I'm gonna mute myself for a second. Let me just talk.
Okay.
Yes, Paige, I hear Odin. I have my own Odin.
Okay.
So, mommy.
All right. I don't know if I'm gonna do it right now that I'm like on. Okay. There's my little lie. I don't know if I did it right. Did I do it right?
You did it. Yep. That's basically my my MC's version of Good Girl.
Good girl. There's
That
my
is-
little lion. I can't.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Out of context. Now I can turn my
That's
camera back
okay.
on so I don't look awkward saying that to all of you.
It's all good.
My little lions. Yeah. This has been fun.
You okay, Ruth?
Okay, so what I'm gonna need is for you to just run around on TikTok and drop that phrase. If you see one of my videos, that's the comment I want from you. And then all of y'all will see it,
Lion.
right?
A lion
All of you
emoji.
guys will see it, and you'll know.
Yeah.
Just saying. And then other people are gonna be like, "What?"
Right.
And then we get to talk about Nicole's book some more.
Yeah.
Yay.
So I'll be your morally gray stalker. That's kind of
Pretty much, actually, yes. Yes.
okay. I like it.
You'll be her bee.
All
A,
right.
a stitch chain. If you want to.
A stitch chain. Ooh. All right.
Is there like a plan to do another Femme takeover anytime
Yes.
soon? Okay.
Yes. It's been a couple of weeks, rough weeks. But I was thinking we might actually do something for Valentine's Day. I was like, well, maybe not, but hear me out. As commercialized as Valentine's Day is as a concept, I think that all of the awesome authors here, that we all interact with on a regular basis and whatnot, all of you guys, write some really romantic things. And sometimes it's a situation where it's like, that's super romantic for that character. I am moved for that character. But, authors write some really beautiful things. And I thought, what a better way to kind of bring attention to that, and potentially even like Valentine's Day specific types of stories than to showcase that, at least maybe not on Valentine's Day, but around the Valentine's Day sphere. So that's kind of what I was thinking.
Sounds good. I like that.
I like it.
Very good.
Yeah. Amazing. Cool.
Cool.
Well, thank you.
Well,
It's
thank
good
you
chatting with you guys.
for being-
Yeah, thanks for coming
Yes.
Love your voice. Beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful voice.
We
Amazing
love your voice.
books.
Thank
Everybody
you.
go check them out.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Nicole's book's out. So good. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Okay.
Thank you.
All
Good
right.
night,
Thank you
guys.
guys. Everybody
Good
have
night,
a
everyone.
Okay, good night. Thanks for tuning
Bye.
in.
Bye.
Ciao.